Good day everyone, so let's review the Lantern Rite Festival here in Genshin Impact's 4.4 version. This is something we traditionally do on the channel where we review the main version event and see how Hoyo has been progressing. And I can honestly say with the Lantern Rite Festival that the story was pretty solid. So the first three acts of it involving Gaming, Shenhe, Ganyu and Shanyun was pretty awesome. I really liked the story. I can genuinely tell you it was a ton of fun, especially all of the jokes that they put in. And as for the main event itself, I thought that the mini games were pretty boring, and the Lantern Rite Festival looked as gorgeous as ever against the backdrop of Leeway. A lot of beautiful pictures you can take. So that would be the quick TLDR review. So now let's get into each one of the items in a bit more detail. So first off, the story. Look, I liked it a lot, but I didn't like the ending where they had to introduce the Fontaine characters. It is almost like they had to force Nuvalet and Farina and Navi and Corin just to remind us that the Fontaine characters are there. It's almost like to conveniently remind you and to remind casual players that in the next version update, some of their reruns might be taking place. It just felt so weird. It felt so out of place to me. I liked the story. We had a story of Gaming and his family. We had one of Shanyun, Shenhe, Ganyu, and them as a so-called familial unit. And I liked the story. I liked the jokes. I liked how Paimon made a fool of herself by drinking the water that Gaming offered her, and she's supposed to clean her utensils. I mean, this was really funny. I loved how Shenhe basically ruined the plot, but then basically her father was like, "Sheesh, thank God we're not like that family over there." There were so many good moments, and yet they had to bring in the Fontaine characters. I liked the fact that Charlotte was there. It was great seeing her in Leeway Harbor. It was great seeing that she took note of the event and spread and helped make some connections, spread the story to Fontaine. It makes the world feel more natural. It fits with her as being a news reporter. So I've got no complaints about Charlotte being there in the Lantern Rite Festival. Fits naturally. But what the heck is Farina doing there? And Navia and her girlfriend Clorinde doing there? What is Nuvalet quickly doing a quick stroll and then whoop, hopping back over to Fontaine? It didn't make sense. It didn't follow the theme of the Lantern Rite Festival. It didn't connect to the main story whatsoever. We had this beautiful, gorgeous CGI scene with the kites and everyone having a competition. And the first thing I thought was like, yep, Shanyun is probably going to win this competition. And then afterwards, instead of getting that resolution, getting to talk a bit and like unwind and just, let the festival kind of come to a natural conclusion, we had to suddenly go meet Hu Tao, and then the Fontaine character showed up. I just don't get why Hoyo did this. It's so bizarre. It's really, you had such a beautiful first three chapters, but that would be my biggest complaint. I'm really sorry. I liked it. I liked seeing the little cute things that they put with Paimon, how she's blushing, the new custom animations, the balance between the dialogue of all the different characters, the joke that people like had too much tea, so Shanyun fell for the scam, and now she had to offload the tea onto the merchants in the Millith. But why carry that over now to Nuvalet dumping it all on the Fortress of Meropide? It's just like, it worked with Shanyun. You could understand, this super smart Adeptus not being that street smart and how she effectively got like herself into a bit of trouble. But then Nuvalet does the same thing as well. I don't know. I told people that Hoyo seems to have this, I don't know, this real desire to oversell and overhype Fontaine for the new characters, and I'm really not buying it. I have to call it out. I love Farina, I love the Fontaine cast, but they really had their moments. Imagine Kokomi herself getting this treatment after her release. It would just be unthinkable. But in any case, let's go on to the second item worth reviewing, and that is the minigame. So the one in the overworld where you fly around and zip around, I like that. I like it when my characters can move. I like it when I can interact with the environment. We had a new environment, so it makes sense that they put the outdoor event right there. You can zip around, you can take the environment in. It wasn't too difficult. It was something that had a better strategy depending if you wanted to get max points. Loved it. I would have liked to also see a combat event, but hey, you know, Hoyo doesn't do those during main events anymore, so that's whatever. The little Guaba and Yegwe sort of puzzle that you need to solve was pretty boring at first, and then it got super interesting right towards the end. Once again, I'd like to see something similar to with like Fischl's Oz or Kokomi's Jellyfish or Yamiko's Fox, or you know, anything with other characters other than just like forcing in something with Xiangling. It's like every single Lantern Rite festival, they've got to mention Xiangling. They've got to somehow sneak in a bit of Xingshu with an outfit he copied from Farina. It's just like, I get Yao Yao because she basically released last year, or was it the year before? I can't remember. But Yao Yao fit. But yeah, it's just the little references to those two just spoils my blood. But okay, that's just me. And then finally, I think we had the, what was the last event? Oh, the co-op. It was bad. The co-op was really bad, and it was bad because at some point I thought I was behind, only to be the one that was on top because the game wasn't properly syncing up. That is SYNC. And the weird thing was the collisions didn't feel natural. It didn't feel natural how it played. Maybe it was just my ping, but the co-op was not fun at all. It is an interesting concept. I get what they were trying to do. I appreciate the effort that they put in, but it's the type of event where once you get just enough to get all the rewards in the event, you just want to stop playing the co-op. It wasn't that fun. I think there's something about like the Wind Trace formula and some of the other older co-op events that just hit it, but this one just didn't do it for me. But that's what I thought about it. So overall, really a very lackluster Lantern Rite event. I think the only saving grace for me was the fact that we had these funny moments, that we had more character development. I loved how Shenhe really started slowly becoming more accustomed to human society, and it's so strange to see how proud Cloud Retain is for like bringing her up and Ganyu up, and yet you know they really have a lot of issues and she can't. It really is kind of adorable. But other than the bit of character development and Gumming's really solid story, which I think was kind of relatable to a lot of people, there isn't that much more. And of course there's a bit of scenery, so if you like taking pictures, take a number of beautiful pictures, take them with Kokomi, because you're not going to get the same event for a long time. But it is what it is. Alright guys, that's it for my little review. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.